This week on Dateline Abuja, we have the Acting Director General of the FCT Emergency Management Department as we examine the floods, building collapses and market fires they had to handle this week alone. And again, the human error that is designated as a culprit in all these disasters. We also look into these incidents and update you on the major stories from Nigeria's presidency. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I am Kayla Megwa. Let's keep you updated on the major stories that made the rounds from Nigeria's presidency. It's time for our Abuja Wrap.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated the leader of the Labour Party, Sir Keir Starmer, on the victory of his party in the United Kingdom's general elections. In a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajurin Galali, President Tinubu stated that as a former leader of the opposition in Nigeria, he notes the determination and courage the incoming Prime Minister of the United Kingdom demonstrated throughout his years as the opposition and the leader of the Labour Party. He said he looked forward to deepening relations between Nigeria and the United Kingdom in mutual areas of interest and in strengthening democratic institutions, as well as building a safer and more prosperous future for the people of both countries. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has announced a 20 million naira prize for the winning design for the One Nigeria Unity Fabric competition, an initiative of the Renewed Hope Initiative. Speaking in her office at the State House in Abuja, the First Lady said the initiative, which was launched in February 2024, aims to promote national unity by integrating Nigeria's diverse cultures and bridging tribal divides. She added that the winning fabric, which will be produced by local manufacturers, will be launched on October the 1st, 2024.
In December 2023, when I visited Zimbabwe for the launch of #WeAreEqual campaign of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, or AFLAD, I came across the concept of the national fabric that they have, and I believe this concept is a unifying one, where we can infuse our diverse cultures and break down tribal barriers to identify as a people of one nation. So I decided that it would be a good idea to have a similar experience back home in Nigeria. The winner of the #One Nigeria Unity Fabric competition will be announced in September 2024, together with the chosen design. The winner will be presented with the prize money of 20 million naira to be channeled into his or her education or business venture. Fabric from this design will be produced by our local manufacturers and will be launched for use on the 1st of October 2024. Altogether, we have 111 entries that we will be selecting from.
President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the Presidential Economic Coordination Council, tasked with the responsibility of strategizing ways out of the current economic situation in the country. At the ceremony, which took place in the State House, Abuja, his Stabilization and Advancement Emergency Plan to cover the next 6 months. The plan includes the injection of 2 trillion naira into the Nigerian economy.
I can give instructions as the president from my office, but I believe so much deeply in the organized private sector. The partnership to drive the economy of this country for reforms and stabilization that is necessary.
In what has been described as a bid to expedite the process of expanding consumer credit access to Nigerians, President Tinubu has appointed a board for the Nigeria Consumer Credit Corporation, Credicorp. The board is now headed by a new board chairman, Otumba Aderemi Abdul. According to the statement by the Special Advisor on Media, Ajurin Galali, the President expects the new members of the board to bring their vast experience, competence and dedication to bear to achieve the corporation's mandate of accelerating access to consumer credit to millions of Nigerians. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says Nigeria's finances are being overhauled with a positive balance despite outstanding debt. He was speaking after the week's Federal Executive Council meeting, which took place in the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The minister said the federal government does not rely on ways and means in order to fund itself and is also reducing its debt burden.
The total debt stock of Nigeria in US dollar terms fell by 15%. That is very positive. We are focused on ensuring that the revenue that is due to the federal government is collected robustly, using technology, avoiding blockages which manual processing can cause, and it has led to a very robust revenue effort. We do not rely on ways and means to pay salaries. We don't rely on it to pay debt service, external debt servicing, or other obligations. That is the situation. The finances of Nigeria have been revamped. The glass is half full.
Welcome back. A 4-story building in the Garki area of Abuja collapsed during the week, and luckily no lives were lost. And that's just one of the major collapses that we had to deal with in the nation's capital this week. Then there was a fire at the Karu market, and though no lives were lost, the shop owners are counting their losses. All this in addition to the floods in the FCT that kept residents and authorities awake since the heavy rains hit recently. Let's take a look at some of these incidents in our focus on the FCT.
It was a tough week in the nation's capital as it rained every day during the week, putting a damper on weekly activities of residents and arousing fears of residents who live in flood-prone areas. While residents adjusted their lives to function under the rain, news of a fire incident at the Karu market, a densely populated suburb on the border between the Federal Capital Territory and Nasarawa State, took residents by surprise, destroying millions in property at a time of economic difficulty. The morning after, the carnage is more visible and the losses apparent. The market was a popular shopping destination, attracting customers from Abuja and neighboring states. Rescue operations continued into the night and was concluded in the early hours on Friday. The cause of the fire is traced to electricity surge.
From eyewitness, what I heard was that the fire happens about 20 minutes after they restored power. So one would think that it might be very close to power surge or something that has to do with that. But the issue is that that particular site is an unstructured part. And when you build shops and stores closely together that you do not have access, it becomes an issue, even for people to evacuate their goods should in case of emergency. And that is what has happened there.
It's okay, God is alive. God is alive.
Traders who have suffered losses in the inferno are tiling additional damages.
We closed from market around 6:30 yesterday. I reached house, Mama. I reached house around after 7. My auntie called me that they say Karu market caught fire. And I called my husband, come, let's go. Before we reach here, my 2 shops have burned already. I opened the 3rd one. I cannot see anybody to help me. I was struggling. I cannot carry his bag and beans, all this in I said. All of them got burnt. You can see. This one now, I'm calling people to assist me to pack. Everything just got burnt. I don't know where to start from. This is where we feed from. This is where I pay my house rent. This is where my children pay their school fees. Everything just go. I cannot help myself. Oh, I'm in pain. I don't know if government can help us. Let government help us and assist us on how to. I don't even know my money that I've got here. It's over 10 million. Don't do. Over 10 million. I've seen it wasting over 10 million.
You see, there are a lot of damages that has caused here in the market. Currently, nobody can quantify the extent it has gone, but it's seriously in billions. In billions, because as you can see behind here, these are market where we sell beans and other grains. So many things here has gone lost. And then the major problem is, for me, is from both sides. both the marketers and then the government, because there is no access road. When it happens, there are a lot of fire service trucks that came in, but they cannot access the market. Most especially, this side of the market is so jam-packed that there's no access road. Had it been there is access road, the damage will have not get to this point. And we still beg the government, it is not an easy thing. Government should really come to the aid. You can see this woman crying, so many people are crying, there are a lot of lost.
The full extent of the damage caused by the fire is still being evaluated. However, it's evident that the fire has had a significant negative impact on the community. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has expressed sadness over the fire incident and extends his heartfelt sympathies to all the traders affected by the incident. In a statement by his special advisor on media and jury in Genali, the president assured victims who lost properties and other valuables of his administration's full support. The president urged caution and adherence to essential safety measures to prevent fire outbreaks and other incidents. Just a few days after a 4-story building collapsed at the Garki area of the FCT, no lives were lost. The FCT Emergency Management Agency, FEMD, confirmed that no life was lost following the building collapse. The 4-story building was undergoing renovation at the time of the collapse. Eyewitness accounts say most of the construction workers had already closed for the day, as at the time the building caved in. Officials of the Emergency Management Agency blamed the contractor for ignoring directives from the Abuja Development Control Authority to stop work. According to the agency, 3 persons were rescued from the scene with minor injuries and have since been treated and discharged from the hospital.
We rescued 3 people and we took them to the hospital. They sustained just bruises and they have been discharged. They were not actually admitted. They went in there as outpatients because they were not badly injured. They only sustained minor bruises. There was no loss of life. Developers, both construction general companies and individual developers. 1, they do not keep to building codes. 2, when there is a warning sign to suspend construction work, they don't obey. 3, they don't carry out integrity tests, especially when it has to do with existing buildings that are going to be renovated. The director of development control himself was on ground and he quickly identified the mark, the right mark by development control, asking the construction workers to suspend work, but they did not obey development control. So development control, being the lead agency, gave us the go ahead to pull down the rest of the building.
The FCT Emergency Management Agency has had its hands full with floods, fires and building collapses situations that they believe could have been averted if the proper procedures and building codes were adhered to.
My guest on the program is Mrs. Florence Wenegieme, the Acting Director General of the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Department. She talks us through the challenges that cause these disasters in the FCT and what residents should be doing next. Madam Florence, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you.
I know you've been going through a lot in the past few weeks. How are you?
That's all right. It's my job. I signed for it. I agreed I was going to do it. So I have to be on top of the situation at all times.
Let's talk about the flooding.
Yes.
Some people want to be able to get the clarification. Are these just flash floods, or are these floodings that are, things that we need to do something about?
Well, of course, they are flash flooding. If you see flooding, you will know what it is. That it will come in form of Hurricane Katrina and all other ones. And that is it. And of recent, you saw the one that happened in Kenya. So this, what we have here is flash flooding. And this is something we can actually take care of. Mostly is being caused by human activity. We cannot stop something that is natural. If it is predicted that we are going to have heavy downpour, definitely we can't stop it. And all we need to do is, after the predictions, we need to hit to the warnings, and that is it. Compliance is just what we need.
So let's talk a bit about Trademore.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like I've seen you at Trademore over the years, even before you became DG.
Very well.
Talk to us about the situation that we have there.
In actual sense, I'm not supposed to talk about Trademore because the FCT administration already declared Trademore to be a disaster zone. A disaster zone in the sense that because of the flash flooding that keeps occurring there, it has been happening for the past 3 years. There's no year that we don't go there on response to flash flooding. But the residents of Trademore did not give us a chance to do the needful. We are prepared to do the needful, but they have not given us the chance. And I'm not supposed to talk about it because there's a court injunction restraining us from doing whatever we want to do in Trademore. So I'm not supposed to talk about it. We only went there on response because there are human beings living there. And our job is to save lives and properties. So there's no way that we will fold our hands and sit down when we receive a distress call about Trademore. So that was why we went there. We went there on humanitarian grounds. The last one that happened, the houses we marked last year were 116 houses. If you go to Trademore, I'm sure most of your cameramen, they go there, your reporters have been going there. They must have seen the mark. We counted the houses, they were about 116. So far now, the houses that are actually sitting on the waterways that were affected last week, I don't think they are up to 50. From that bridge up to the police station.
Let's talk a bit about something that I know you've had to deal with this week as well, which is the fire incident in Karu Market.
Yes.
Talk to us a bit about that. And for those who've lost so much, is there going to be some kind of compensation? Is this something that they caused themselves? What's going on there?
Well, the cause of the fire outbreak in Karu Market is yet to be revealed. We are still carrying out investigations, but it was not the actual market that caught fire. The old Karu Market was demolished and a model market is being built there, well laid out with roads, access roads. There's a clinic there, there's a fire station, there's a bank, and a police station. So we have all this in place in the new market. Some of the shops are already occupied in actual sense. But what happened was that where we had the fire outbreak is an illegal market, unplanned market. I don't know how to describe it. There are shanties in that market. Some people are even sleeping there. So the market is right behind the new model market that is being built. It's under construction, but the shops that have been completed have been occupied. So there is a fence between the modern market, the new market, and the illegal market we have behind the new Karu Market. That was where we had the fire outbreak. And that market is filled up with combustible materials because the shops are being made of some wood, some tarpaulin, and all this. So some of them sleep there, they cook there. If you were there on that day, you will hear gas explosions. Some people store petroleum products there. Right now, a post-disaster assessment is ongoing. We have sent our Department of Relief and Rehabilitation. They are carrying out the post-disaster assessment. When we get a comprehensive list of the people that are there, we are in touch with the market management. We want to know, and then we know the palliative that will be provided for them.
Okay. So let's talk finally about the building collapse in Garki.
I knew you would get to that. Well, it all has to do with compliance. All we are pleading with the residents of FCT, not just residents of FCT, but the entire country, please, people should comply with our advices and warnings.
So that building, what did they disobey in that building?
Not just that building, all the buildings, they had similar problems.
All the buildings were?
The three, within 1 week, we had 3
Okay, yes, there were 3, yes.
First was Guzape here, not too far from you. They had a structural defect. It has been sealed by Development Control. Development Control, being the lead agency, we handed over the site to them. Ours is to carry out rescue operations and to make sure the premises is safe. After Guzape, we had in Prince and Princess. Prince and Princess was renovation. They started renovating the house without carrying out integrity tests to make sure that the existing building can withstand whatever additions they want to make. So what happened was that the people that were trapped were the people at the BQ, a bungalow. But we were able to rescue them by cutting out the the window protection. And we brought out the people. There were 2 ladies there. The third one is the one in Area 11 of Amadou Bello Way. The same renovation of existing buildings without carrying out integrity tests. The addition, what they wanted to add there was too heavy. The existing structure could not withstand it.
What did they want to add?
The extension is an extension. So, and where the lack of compliance comes in here is that all these 3 places were marked. Development Control.
They were marked buildings.
They were marked. If that structure passes the integrity test, then you can go ahead. Keep to the building codes and build under the supervision of qualified builders, engineers, professionals. Use professionals.
We do have to wrap it up there. I want to thank you so much, Madam Florence, for making that. We might have to do a special with you. I have to say that, where we actually map out the FCT and look at what the challenges are.
Yes.
But until then, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to my guest and to everyone who spoke to us today on the program. You've heard it all from the FCT authorities. Doing the right thing, adhering to building codes, building in the right areas, and standing by Abuja's master plan is in your best interest. So please, protect your life and the lives of others. And remember that in Abuja, if something seems too good to be true, it most likely is. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screens. Thank you so much for watching. I am Kayla Magwa. See you next time.